Section 3 of the Penny Magazine of the Society for the Diffusion of Useful Knowledge, Issue 7. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Read by Larry Wilson. The Penny Magazine of the Society for the Diffusion of Useful Knowledge, Issue 7, by Charles Knight. The Lobster. Amongst the numerous examples given by Dr. Paley of the wonderful manner in which nature contrives to overcome difficulties which would at first appear insurmountable, there is perhaps none more striking than the mode in which the lobster is released from his case when the increasing size of his body requires more room. In most animals the skin grows with their growth. In some animals, instead of a soft skin, there is a shell, which admits by its form of gradual enlargement. Thus the shell of the tortoise, which consists of several pieces, is gradually enlarged at the joinings of those pieces which are called sutures. Shells with two sides like those of the mussel grow bigger by addition at the edge. Spiral shells, as those of the snail, receive this addition at their mouth. The simplicity of their form admits of this. But the lobster shell, being applied to the limbs of his body, as well as to the body itself, does not admit of either of the modes of enlargement which is observed in other shells. It is so hard that it cannot expand or stretch, and it is so complicated in its form that it does not admit of being enlarged by adding to its edge. How then was the growth of the lobster to be provided for? We have seen that room could not be made for him in his old shell. Was he then to be annually fitted with a new one? If so, another difficulty arises. How was he to get out of his present confinement? How was he to open his hard coat, or draw his legs out of his boots which are become too tight for him? The works of the Deity are known by expedients, and the provisions of his power extend to the most desperate cases. The case of the lobster is thus provided for. At certain seasons his shell grows soft. The animal swells his body, the seams open, and the claws burst at the joints. When the shell is thus become loose upon the body, the animal makes a second effort, and by a trembling motion, a sort of spasm, casts off his case. In this state of nakedness the poor defenseless fish retires to a hole in the rocks. The released body makes a sudden growth. In about 48 hours a fresh concretion of humor takes place all over the surface of his body. It quickly hardens, and thus a new shell is formed, fitted in every part to the increased size of the body and limbs of the animal. This wonderful change takes place every year. End of section 3.